tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
All right. Music to my ears. I'm back this week. I'm so happy to be back. Welcome to the Big Brother After Show. I am James Lott Jr. We have actually an action-packed night for you. We have two different things happening, so please follow along. Right now, we have a great show for you talking about the first two episodes of the week, and we have a special guest. We have two special guests, one in studio, one on Skype. Very exciting. And then tonight at 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, we'll have a second show discussing what happened on today's episode of Double Eviction. So again, I'm James Lott Jr. You follow me at Black Hope LA, BLAKHOPELA, and with me are...
Hey guys, I'm Jonny Manganello. You can find me at Jonny Mangs on Twitter and Instagram, and I'm also now on Snapchat. You just have to search.
Yeah, well, good. I haven't found you yet.
I have to be able to tell them where. Let me say that one more time. Very happy birthday.
Oh yeah! Oh my gosh! Serene Branson.
If you know that
Serene
reference,
Branson live on the scene.
If you know that reference, you're a good internetter. You can find me on Snapchat. Just search my name. It's the sentence I was trying to say.
Wow.
Hi. I'm Lauren Lograsso. You can find me all over the internet at LoLoLoGrow. I'm also on Snapchat. That's my username, so you can check it out there. Instagram, Twitter. And I'm playing a show with the Viper Room on next Wednesday, 999 show. It's September 9th at 9 p.m. And we're going to have a good old time.
I love our studio audience.
They're the best in the business, really.
Yes.
What's up, guys? I'm Nicholas Grava. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Nicholas Grava. And on Snapchat.
And we have the one guest we have in studio. He's a friend to the show. He was on here last time. It's crazy.
That's about that bad.
You can find him on ABC's The Middle.
I always
Brock
find him.
Ciarlelli.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brock Ciarlelli, and you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and now Snapchat at Brock Ciarlelli.
And now Snapchat?
Wait,
I just made it public, which is a thing now, which I had no idea was a
I'm
thing.
following you now. I think I'm following you now. You just announced
Am
it.
I public?
I don't know. I get your snaps are hilarious. You guys, she is a good one to follow. She's a good one to follow. No, she's really funny on Snap lately.
There she is.
And she's here via Skype, Miss Audrey. Hi, Miss Audrey.
Audrey, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh, we're honored to see you.
Night.
I'm so
I'm
glad you wore the
excited for
blanket.
you to see me. I'm wearing my blanket because I'm mourning over tonight's event.
I
The
know.
double eviction was crappy.
Yeah, you know, honestly, Audrey, here's the sad thing for us. We weren't able to watch it because football was stealing Big Brother's thunder, which is rude.
Oh, hell no.
She's pissed. She's so pissed.
I know.
Audrey, do you prefer football or Big Brother?
Am I allowed to swear on the show?
I think we can make an exception
I would
for
say
you.
swear
Okay.
and then just like say I'm
I
sorry.
would rather shit in my hands and clap than watch football instead of Big Brother.
I agree with you.
Wow.
That's a visual.
Yeah, you know, I'm thinking
visual.
about it. I can agree with you there.
Tell us how you really feel, though. How do you actually feel on the subject?
I love that.
It's true.
Well, Audrey, we're glad you can make it with us tonight. So we want to talk about your time on the show. And then also talk about your time after the show and what you've seen so far and what your feelings are. So let's begin. So how did Big Brother come into your life?
So I've been a fan of Survivor and Big Brother since I was little. I've played like mock versions of the show online, and I've always been like a super geek. Love strategy, the whole concept of the show being like a mind fuck, and I loved it. I loved getting mind fucked by Big Brother.
It's a very sensual experience.
Don't we all? Yeah.
I like that. And so how was the process for you applying for Big Brother?
It was intense. It's one of the most competitive casting processes, I think, for any other reality show. So,
really?
I mean, I was not a recruit. I went through the entire casting ordeal, and it was honestly kind of like the Olympics a little bit. So I'm pretty excited and feeling, good that I made it on the show, even though I didn't place very well.
Yeah.
You still did a good job, though. It's not like you were voted out first week or anything.
Yeah, you made a wave for sure.
That's how I feel. I made an impact regardless, and I affected the events that led up to what's happening.
Yeah,
very true.
And you're starting a movement throughout America known as blanketing. Can we talk about the blanketing? How did this all start? How did it keep going? Where was your inspiration?
Okay, so initially, part of it was uncomfortability, and I just, the way I dealt with stress, that's how it manifested. But what started was, in that house, it's not like Survivor, where when one person is suffering, everyone is suffering because you're all enduring the same elements. In Big Brother, there's so much downtime, and when you're the target, people alienate you, and, you're not human anymore. You're this lesser creature. And what I like to do is make people feel uncomfortable. It helps me read them, and I'm going to go out kicking and screaming because that's just my personality type.
Right.
Love it or hate it. That's me. And so when I was in the house, I put the blanket on, and I kind of rolled with it and wore it half of the week. It was a good defense mechanism. I'm glad I did it because more people are catching on to it and realizing how cool it actually is.
My time spent on a blanket in this show is by far some of the best time I've ever spent.
Yeah, Lauren, we all dressed up as contestants one week, or house guests one week, and Lauren played you.
I was you, and it was fabulous. Thank you for
I saw it. You did so good.
I didn't do a great job with your voice. I need to figure out the Audrey voice more, but I felt like I did a good job with the embodiment. I'm still working on getting as cool as you, though, Audrey. Not quite there yet.
Okay, one of these days. I'll give you some tips.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Audrey, I always like to know what it is like in the house because I'm such a super fan. I've been watching since season 1, and my dream is just to step inside of that house. Was it sort of like a dream come true for you? Was it different than you thought? Was the production, was everything what you imagined? And how was it different? How was it the same?
It was a wet dream come true. I almost slipped off the stage when I was standing before I entered. It was overwhelming. I had to pinch myself the whole first week. A lot of moments, even in the midst of heated battles between Clay and I would just have this moment in my head, oh my God, I'm on Big Brother right now, screaming. This is really cool. It's so not what people think. It's a totally different experience when you're finally in there and you get thrown into it all. It's so much harder than people would expect, and I would totally do it again.
Do you ever find that people might be putting on an act because they know cameras are on them 24/7 and they've generated this persona and just keep it up the entire time in there?
Absolutely. Yes. See, I feel part of me also coming out right away on the show was my attitude was, okay, you're signing up on a show where you're going to be filmed and monitored 24/7 by America. This isn't a pre-edited thing. And this is a social experiment. I put a blanket on my head, but I made myself really vulnerable, and that made for interesting feeds and for an interesting show. And I feel like more than anyone on the cast, I showed the most human side of myself and the perspective that we're not perfect and we're silly and we do weird things sometimes and I feel like a lot of the cast was very calculated on how they wanted to be portrayed to America. And maybe that was my downfall. Maybe I probably should have been more conscientious, but I'm glad that I was myself because now I have people who know this person and respect me even though I went crazy.
Do you feel like you went crazy?
You said it.
Okay, crazy on the crazy scale, I was maybe like a 5 or a 6 out of 10. I didn't go try to hang myself from the balcony. Okay,
Right.
like I put a blanket on my head and then did the Imperial March through the house. Like, stranger things have happened on national television.
No, that's true.
That's true.
That's true. And in the Big Brother house. So,
Right.
yeah.
I loved it when James made you that omelet.
Oh
I
my
thought that was
gosh.
such a tender moment, and I really want to know, how was that omelet?
Worst omelet I've ever had. They didn't show it on the episode, but I only really took like 2 bites of it.
I thought it was
but
so
you know
good.
what? James is sweet for making it, and I'm totally gonna return the favor finale night.
Aw.
Yeah, I saw your
That's
tweet
nice.
tonight. You said you were going to make him an omelet. That
Yes.
was sweet.
So, Audrey, what is one move that you're very proud that you made in the game?
You know, one move that I am proud of is that after the big have not blow up, where it was the whole house versus me, which, by the way, I just have to point out, every person that was in that room has been eliminated. I'm just saying. No,
That's
you
right,
be
girl.
the judge.
That's right.
One of my best moves was probably like laying down and playing dead. Like that was the only real moment in that game where I just kind of withdrew, and that's what got me to week 4.
I agree.
But I feel like I had a lot of good ideas. Like I pulled everyone in the have not room to target Vanessa. Like I wasn't far off. Obviously, there's something to
I
it.
wish that had worked.
I know.
Yeah, so I feel like my instincts were good, but how I tried to execute them was way off.
Audrey.
But me laying down low, that
But
worked
also
out.
the thing that you have to take in consideration, you could execute it perfectly. It's also a matter of how people take that
Perceive it,
execution
right.
as well, right?
Right.
Tell us what Vanessa's like, because from our point of view, she's diabolical.
Yeah, everyone
going
hates
on?
her. I actually almost feel bad for her.
I
with
don't
how much
feel
hate-
bad.
I don't feel bad for her and her tears every week. I really don't. But
Well, here's the thing. It's a diabolical game. It brings out the worst in people.
Right.
And honestly, playing emotionally, it can still be calculated. And just on with my experience with her, and I used emotions a little bit in the house. When you play as an emotional player, you are testing the level of empathy of the other individuals in that house. And you can read their behavior based on how they respond and react to you. And so I think her outbursts, she has these different radical levels of her outbursts. And I think that has actually helped her stay where she is, even though like as soon as the people leave the house, they know it all hits them, like she's responsible for everything, she's this big mastermind. But I mean, you can't like hate the player, you gotta hate the game.
I hate the player a little bit.
I really did. She was my front runner in the beginning, and now
Yeah.
every week it just becomes more and more. I want her out of the house.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the first thing.
Yeah.
I have a question. Was there anything that you felt that didn't make it to air, but maybe you wish had or would have changed the perspective that the audience had on you or the game overall?
I wish it would have shown my motivation for bringing people up to the have not room that one night. Like, I didn't just wake up at 5 in the morning and be like, I'm going to start the biggest fucking alliance ever. Like, my motivation was I had told Vanessa information and it had kept getting leaked. And I discovered that night that she was there, like, blabbing all this stuff. And I had told Clay and Shelly, we can't trust Vanessa. And so before the feeds went on, there were all these sub-alliances, but everyone in that room at one point was on the same page. And so my actual intention was to get everyone back on the same page because we were crumbling and turning against each other. And I did bring everyone together. I just brought them together against me.
Yeah, that's interesting. That really is
really
interesting.
Yeah, it's weird how that worked out.
Audrey, one moment I really liked is, and I believe this was near the end of your time on the show, is when we saw you outside talking to Steve, and he was asking you questions about being trans, and I thought you gave such a wonderful answer. And I will say, before the season started, there was a lot of news about the first trans house guest on Big Brother, and everyone was talking about it. And you were what everyone was talking about while you were waiting to enter the house, and we found out who the contestants were. And then you entered the house, you announced on the first night, I'm the first trans house guest, and then that was sort of the end of the discussion, at least from what we saw. Do you feel like you were accepted in the house in the way that we saw you being accepted?
Mm-hmm.
I really do. I feel like people just embraced it right then and there. And it was really a beautiful thing to be able to exemplify to our country. And I mean, just to the world, you know, because we've struggled for like how many freaking years, like just getting over diversity and realizing it's okay to be like different from one another. Like the world isn't ending because of that. We're ending it because we can't accept that.
Right.
And on the show, I feel like the people who just didn't like me, it wasn't personal. They just didn't like me.
Right.
It has nothing to do with being trans.
But I guess that's probably better, right? I mean, like,
I mean, that's what I wanted. I wanted an authentic experience, and that's how I am in real life. Like, you can't please everyone. I knew I was going to piss people off on the show, so it doesn't bother me that people didn't like me. It makes me feel better that it wasn't just personal, that they believe they have another reason to justify their feelings.
Absolutely.
Are there any times on the show that you actually forget the cameras?
Yes.
So you do?
Like when you put a blanket on your head.
You always hear, like, after a while you forget the cameras, and I always wonder if that's true or not.
I mean, you do. The first couple weeks, you're like thinking about it more. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm on a TV show. And then when you really get into it, you just let go.
Wow.
Like when you sign up for this experience, you can't give fucks after like day 7. Like you just can't give any more fucks.
Right.
Yeah. Got a
You
pocket full
sign
of them.
them away.
It's totally immersive. And so actually, this is what I've always wondered about Big Brother. Another thing I've always wondered is, sorry, I have a lot of thoughts. I used to throw a yearly Big Brother party. I named my goldfish Julie Chen. Like, I'm a big fan, so I'm really thrilled that you are on the show right now. I wonder, do you guys know, while you're in the house, who is making the best TV? Because I remember last season, Victoria genuinely thought she was playing the game. I'm like, girl, do you guys just not know, being cut off from the outside world? Maybe you think the Victorias and the Megs are actually playing strong games. Or do you know?
No one thinks Meg's playing or thought she was. Yeah.
You really have no idea. Like in that house, I like Johnny Mac, but I've referred to Johnny Mac as a limp dick. Like in the house, he's kind of like flaccid, like very usually reserved to himself. He's not the animated character that he is in all of his DR. So when I got out of the house, I'm like, whoa, who the hell is that guy and why is he yelling everything? Like, I don't even know that.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And America loves him.
Yeah, obsessed.
Like he's even my front runner.
Totally.
So then what does that mean?
so
What
much.
actually happens in the diary rooms? Because we don't see anything except for your snippets. So what's your conversation with producers and all that sort of stuff when you're in the DR?
I mean, it's literally just a place for you to isolate yourself and get out your thoughts. I mean, it's literally like a diary.
So they
You can take as much time as you need and you just vent and they just listen.
Yeah.
So they don't prompt you for certain answers at all?
No.
Really?
That's surprising.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How about before entering the house, do they give you some rules or regulations, things that you absolutely cannot do, things that are not accepted? What does that sort of look like right before?
I mean, with every game, with every show, everything in life, there's always boundaries and there is like rules, but they're rules for like don't break shit. Like, you know, don't throw stuff in the pool that's electronic. And then the actual rules to Big Brother, you know, how the ceremonies work and everything. I mean, it's actually extremely fair. Extremely fair. Annoyingly fair.
Oh, interesting.
We were worried about you when you were in the diary room for what, like 5 hours?
I wasn't counting. I was sleeping.
Okay. All right. Good to know.
What was the first thing that you really wanted when you got out of the house that you missed?
The first thing that I wanted when I first got out of the house was probably alcohol.
Hey! All right.
Yeah, girl.
Is there a shortage of that in the house?
Yes, it's very limited. I think that the game, I don't know if people would have been more easy to manipulate drunk.
Probably. You could have gotten a lot of information
I don't
out of
know.
them.
But yeah, you only get, I think, 2 bottles of wine and like 6 beers to split between 16 people.
How does anyone manage to get drunk then?
Yeah.
Then it turns into
I
the
need that
Hunger
for one
Games.
night.
It's a glass of wine.
Hunger Games.
Yeah. You have to be an incredible lightweight.
Yeah.
So I think me and Steve were the only ones feeling a buzz.
Of course, Steve.
Oh, Steve.
He has 1 glass and he's gone for the night.
Audrey, I am furious about how this season is panning out. I love watching it, of course, but all my people have gone. I loved watching you. I loved watching Jason. I loved watching Davon, even Clay and Shelly. And I think the house was smart to get rid of you guys because I think you were some of the strongest players. But I do not understand how the hell 2 identical twins are still in the house. Like, write them the check. What are your feelings on the rest of the season since you left?
I was really hoping that tonight was going to go a different direction, and it didn't go that direction.
Yeah.
So I have this really uncomfortable gut feeling that a twin is going to win, and I wish that wasn't the case because I feel like it should be climactic, but it's so predictable that it's not. It's like anticlimactic.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're in a good spot. I hope that Vanessa, Steve, and Jonny Mac team up and shake some stuff up, but I don't know. They haven't done it yet, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Bummer.
have to say, too, Audrey, I really respect your ability to make lemonade out of lemons. I mean, like, the blanketing thing, the way you've embraced that, I think you're a hero. I really do.
Oh,
When you,
thanks.
when
I think
you
that's so cool.
remember
Like, the ET picture?
We love the
died.
ET picture.
Oh my gosh, that was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. You're incredible. You have such a sense of humor. I really respect it, and I hope that you go on and you know, keep talking about your advocacy and just go out there and speak up because I think you've got a lot to say. You're funny and you're well spoken.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you have to have a sense of humor about yourself. You can't take everything so fucking seriously.
Yeah.
And I really wish
love it.
more people in the cast thought this way, but no one interesting is ever universally liked.
That's
true.
So true.
If you can't laugh at yourself, I mean, then what's the point?
Why are
Then
you
you're just
alive?
boring.
Yeah. I get it, girl. I think you're incredible.
I do want to ask before we wrap things up. I want to ask you about your trans work that you're doing and how the climate of the country is changing towards that. Since you got out of the house, how's it been for you personally?
Overwhelmingly warm. Like
Good.
Seriously, I feel like a winner, even though I lost the show because before the show, I was totally an introvert, kept to myself. I wasn't even out like to my employer or to a lot of friends, and everyone has just embraced me. And you know, I hope to eventually have a platform where I can talk about, you know, life after the show because it gives me so much hope for others who are just beginning their transition or this process in their journey. And you know, it's just about time that we like come together and try to understand each other better because I mean, how long have we been on this freaking planet?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's so cool that, especially on Big Brother, that you just said that it wasn't even an issue once you said it day one, and you're putting the biggest social experiment in America, and to show that no one gives a shit. I think it's just a testament to say that, you know, our country's changing for the better.
Moving in the right direction.
Absolutely.
That's great. I wish you lots of luck with that too. I hope to see you do some great speaking engagements and things.
Yeah.
I've been approached to speak at multiple colleges, so I'm excited about that. And there's a gender conference in Atlanta that's happening in October, end of October.
Amazing.
So I'll be speaking there. So yeah, I'm getting there. I'm excited.
Go.
Yay.
Tell us where everyone can find you too and find out about these awesome events you're going to be doing.
Okay, so everyone can follow me on social media. It's all the same. It's at Audrey M, but it's a pun on my name. ODDREYM, because I'm a little bit odd sometimes. And Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, it's all there. Follow me, and I'll be announcing everything there.
Cool.
Awesome.
We will.
Can't wait to keep up with you.
Yes,
And thank you
exactly.
so much for coming on tonight. It was a real honor to talk to you, and I know all the fans were super excited about it.
Yeah, I love AfterBuzz. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited.
We love you.
Thank you.
Loves Audrey. We love you, Odd. We love that you're
Yeah.
Odd.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we
are
love
too.
that you embrace it because it makes us feel
Yeah,
there she goes.
blanket.
Get in that blanket, girl.
Yes, girl. Blanket.
Oh, look at her. No one can wear a blanket like this woman.
Yes, exactly.
Amazing.
Well, thank you, Miss Audrey, for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll see you on the interwebs.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, Audrey. Thanks so much. Oh,
And that was Audrey
was so
Middleton,
nice.
kids. That's very nice. She does,
Where'd she go?
she does not hold back.
She's
a straight shooter.
Love it.
amazing.
I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
And you know what? The best part is people were tweeting at us saying,
yes.
"Wow, she does not hold back."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Saying like, "Oh
quoting
my
everything
God, she's
Corey's saying.
hysterical."
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, I gotta say, when we watched Audrey on the show, I went back and forth. I thought, "Wow, is she playing a good game? Is she's like crazy right now?"
Yeah.
But talking to her right now, I really do believe that she just wanted to play, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
She was going for it.
Yeah, she went all crazy, she said.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
was kind of in that environment. We thought it would be like in that kind
I'm
of
sure
environment.
it's a pressure cooker.
I'm
you
sure.
know.
You have no outside contact. You're playing strategy 24/7.
Right. Can you imagine being on TV 24/7?
I know.
And she was hitting the ground running when she started, where
Yeah.
a lot of people are taking this while to kind of get warmed up,
Right.
which seemed what we call crazy or too
Right.
hard, is that she just is doing
Yeah.
what she did right at the beginning of the game, what we're seeing people do now.
Right, and she,
Right.
and she had instant character because she was trans.
Yeah.
So like instantly she was a character. She had to find her way.
She did.
Right.
And you know what? People remember her as something other than trans,
Yeah.
which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
That's
And
not
important.
easy.
Yeah.
Yes.
To,
She's right. They treated her like a regular cast member.
Absolutely.
Yep.
The trans thing became this kind of just that's just another thing.
And I think that was great to see.
Necessary
Right.
to see.
Yeah.
But I also think it kind of hurt some people. Got her a little further too because they didn't attack her as much.
Well, that's
to
what
get
a
her
lot of
out.
people in the house kept saying.
So
you know,
what? It
how
made
long
great
are we gonna do
television.
this?
I did.
Yeah.
I was saying back. I was saying playing devil's advocate. I'm saying
more
it was both.
interesting
Yeah.
week 1, 2, 3, and 4 than week
Yeah.
whatever.
100%. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say week 100. I'm like, no, honey, we're not there yet.
It feels like
I wish Audrey was on now. The show would be so much
No.
more watchable.
Isn't it interesting though to see, like, we always say how much we talk about the players and we don't really mean it towards them. We're just talking about
Right.
the game. And I feel like this so clearly, because no matter what all of us thought about her as playing the game, now we see her and man, I'm just like, wow, she's
I
Yeah, I
need
know.
to-
Yeah, I know.
I
mean,
love her.
mean,
She's my favorite.
I'd love to go get a glass of wine with that
I
girl.
know, Audrey, if you're still watching, and I wouldn't blame you if you turned it off, but if you're still watching, come hang out with us.
Come to
Yeah,
LA.
for
We'll get
drinks.
you live in the stew, girl.
We're seeing Lauren at the Viper Room on Wednesday.
Yeah.
You're here.
Oh, nine.
999. Wait, that's
I
9.
love it.
What did you guys at home think? I want to know what you thought of the interview as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anybody in chat
Tweet
room?
us.
The chat roll sort of backed up on the
Oh,
internet
dang it.
isn't great, so I'm trying to get it up
Okay.
posted.
Well, we got some tweets.
Yes.
Yeah, we
saw-
did.
Wow, Audrey does not hold back. Yeah, we said that. And
It was a wet dream come true. That was a favorite quote.
That was
funny. That was a good
amazing.
one. That was a good one.
yeah, I'll keep
Yeah,
I'll keep looking on Twitter.
So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the first 2 episodes of the week that lead to tonight, which we'll talk about the next episode later on tonight. So let's start with Sunday when Miss Vanessa becomes HOH.
Oh yeah.
When you just go, that was literally my reaction.
At least Johnny Mac had gotten back in the house.
Yeah.
Johnny Mac's back in the house. Okay,
But then I was still worried because it was like, will Vanessa keep up with her deal that she
Right.
made
Right.
5 hours previously?
Yeah, how do we feel about that? Because when he said, because he was holding on for dear life, it was just them.
Yeah.
And she was trying every trick in the trade to get him off.
And guys, mind you, that competition was like 10 minutes long.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
edited
really?
it to make it seem like
okay.
it was.
Oh, okay.
But I have a feeling they just showed all the footage.
Oh, funny. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because
Okay.
the winner was announced when we were sitting down to record the episode.
Oh, then definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's true.
So
okay.
it was like 10
I
minutes
wish.
later.
Do you guys think Johnny Mac threw it? Did he say that he did throw it?
Well, yeah, he got off. He
Yeah.
said they have a deal, so he got. Even though he's holding on, thinking, just hold on, just don't get
Yeah.
off. Anyway, don't trust her. And he came off, but it did work in his favor, obviously that
Yeah.
night. But
I liked at the beginning he wasn't, so he was like,
No.
no, I'm here, I gotta do what I have to
Exactly.
do for my own game. I'm like, finally, stand up
Yeah.
and
He
have
said he
that
said it
standpoint.
just to say it, though.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
I wish that he would have just stayed
Me
on
too.
that
And
damn
won the damn
spinning
thing.
me too.
rope.
Me too.
I
What a
wish that
different week we would've
for a
had.
number
Yes.
of reasons. First of all, exactly, I wish he had stayed on because it would have been a better week and Meg and James would have still been in the
But
house.
would it have been? Because remember when he got his exit interview, he said, "I'm going to go for Meg."
Oh, that's true. Okay, fine.
I don't know if that would be valid though, right? He just got
Regardless,
eliminated.
regardless, I wish he had stayed on for 2 reasons. One, because it would have been a better week just I wouldn't have had to see Vanessa bullying, which we got to talk about because I can't stand her. And also,
she's our guest next week. Just kidding.
It could set up. I'm worried that even if Johnny Mac made it to the end, I'm not sure that he would win, especially after what Audrey just said. The house doesn't really think about him.
That's crazy.
That's very interesting.
He is our guy.
I know. And America loves him.
At the beginning of the game, he won competitions, but girl, you got to keep winning games, Johnny Mac, because your competitions, because otherwise you're not going to win the game.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Keep winning games.
Keep winning games so you win the game.
Which is so funny what they can do with editing, because if he made it to the final two, the audience would be like, well, of course he's going to win. He's so good. He's this, and this. But then if the house guest thinks he's crap, then...
That was news to me. That was interesting news. But it shows us how different what's inside the house, what we see, and what outside the house is. There's like 3 different things going on.
Well, think about Steve. A lot of what we see is just him to camera, not even in the confessional room. It's like everything is still just him. So I'm like, does he even talk?
Some of the times he's not even talking to the camera. He's just talking to himself.
He's pacing.
Waltzing.
I'm okay, Mom. What was he saying? He was in like the pantry.
Mom, I really need you here right now.
I feel that.
Yeah, me too. I wish I was right here.
I have a question.
Yes.
Why is it an insult to be called a mama's boy? I've never understood that.
For some people it is.
I love my mom.
I know. I'm a mama's boy.
Hey,
I don't
Mom.
know if it's an insult.
I am too.
My mom too, yeah.
I'm not a mama's boy, but I love my mother. I do.
Wait. So then, what's a mama's boy?
Well, there's different things. There's connotations to it. One is that it means that you're not a real grown up. That you.
Okay, you know what? Let's calm it down.
Let's go.
Name call, James.
I'm explaining what they think.
One, you're not
So
a grown
personal.
Okay, what's number 2?
So that's where the connotation comes. But in some cultures, being a mama's boy is a great thing. It means you have respect for women.
Italian.
The Italian culture.
My baby.
Yeah, we're all Italian. You're in a room full of Italians.
I am a room full of Italians. I'm not Italian at all, but I do come from folks. Oh, him too, and James too in the booth. Well, I'm not Italian, and I do love my mother, but I'm not a mama's boy. But I'm saying in some cultures it's not a bad thing, but in America they make it sound bad, like you're a mom, like you're just under their wing. You don't really, you can't have a voice of your own. You do whatever they say. That's why some people get offended by it.
See, I don't think of it as that. I think of it as like you
I'm
just
closer to my
cool
mom.
with your mama.
Yeah.
But
She's
you're right.
your rock.
I don't want someone to be like all over everything I'm doing in my life. There's a distance, but whatever. This is not a conversation about my mom. This isn't a conversation about my mother. It's a conversation about my big brother.
You're gonna break the place.
That water.
Now, Brock had a tweet that I just saw today that made me laugh and almost choked on my orange juice. From like 6
Would have
days
been your
ago.
fault.
When he said that the dudes in the house should not wear
athletic shorts.
Because you see their big brothers.
When they
tweets.
do their eviction speeches and they stand up, you see James and the Giant Peaches. You see it all.
I'm looking at this tweet.
I love it. I retweeted it today. I love it.
I always miss genital opportunities for some reason. I just I don't see them.
It was your boy, Johnny Mac.
Yeah, Johnny.
Yeah,
He's really just showing. Maybe he's thinking, let me grab America by showing. But I mean, I don't know if it worked necessarily.
I don't know if it worked either.
This is my. You know how people go in the diary room? I don't know if they did it this year.
Yeah, Vanessa does.
This is just one.
It's
like sign to
I love
their
you.
person. They can't say it, so they do a little sign.
Except for today.
Oh, except they can apparently now. Yeah.
Mama Johnny, love you. I'm like, slow it down.
It all came from Carol Burnett, which is their show every night. She said, "I'm so glad we had this time together." She tugged on her ear, and that was to her grandma. Just do it all the time.
Why wasn't her grandma in the studio?
Was she dead?
Well, I don't know all that story. I just know that that's the part of the story.
Doesn't matter. I can't see an ear pull from.
We want to hear more about
I
Carol.
thought you were attacking me tonight. I'm just giving information. just a life coach giving information.
By the way, I'm going to play matchmaker here for a second. If Audrey is still watching, there's a guy named, I don't know if he wants, because he changed his.
I know.
So his name's P. Bentley. He's at BB season 17, and he says you're bae. So
Sugar.
Hit that up.
I feel so
I'm gonna say
With BB17.
Direct message.
Yeah,
DM.
Slide into them DM.
And then, of course, so we have. So Vanessa has to pick her 2 people to put up for a nomination, and she chose Meg and James. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm saying,
That's literally my thought.
No, but isn't that funny? I wish there was one person on the panel who just loved Vanessa, but I don't know if we could find a person.
Is there anyone in the country that loves her?
I did love her up until the whole beginning, but at this point, you know what I thought though? Afterwards, I'm starting to think there's not really anyone I like.
No.
Which makes me like I was
like James.
I'm kind of. I don't even know.
I have said from the beginning of the show, from the very beginning, before Nicholas got here, from the very beginning, that I said, well, look out for James. I've said it from the very beginning. Not just because we have the same name.
Right.
I said look out for him.
Did you?
I did from the very beginning. I've always said that.
Okay.
I had a feeling about it. I didn't say I liked him. I had a feeling about him.
He's good. I do think he's a great player, but what?
Johnny has some insider information that just made me very sad. It's probably going to make you sad, and you too.
I'm saying, but he's lasted as long as he has because I had a feeling he would.
Yeah, that's true. He did make it very far.
I didn't say he was going to win, but I just had a feeling.
I'm just laughing because
him not being in the house, if that was that.
we didn't see tonight's episode yet. Like we said, we'll be back
at 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time.
Right, and I'm trying to do the math. What is that Eastern?
That's 1 o'clock in the morning.
1 a.m.
Whoa, you
Drink some
you think Pete Bentley will be up?
Yeah, he will.
Pete Bentley will be.
Yeah.
Up,
If you're
we
on
don't have a show.
regulars, Daquan, Listen, I know you guys from other shows too watch. You stay up and watch us.
Please. My mom will be there. You all can chat.
Your mom?
Is your mom watching right now?
She watches right now. She watches whenever I'm on. She watches at 1 in the morning.
My mom's never
Hey,
seen
Mom,
an
hello?
episode of AfterBuzz.
Well, she's terrible.
My mom, because I'm on so
Doesn't sound
many.
like your mama's boy.
I'm on so many shows. My mom picks and chooses which ones she watches.
Yeah, that's fair.
She has
but
the
then
luxury of being
watches-
selective.
She couldn't
They don't
watch them
care
all.
about me.
She can't watch them all. No. But she watches. I do too many. But she watches a few that I do.
That's it.
Okay, so Paul says he only changed his name because he likes being called Bentley. Okay.
Ooh,
Ooh,
Okay.
that's a cool name.
It's very regal and. something.
Bentley.
So Meg and James are up, of course. Meg cries to death.
I have a Meg cry count. I'm not
Oh, yeah,
kidding.
do you really? Oh,
For
good.
this week, 5
for you.
times.
Someone did your
Sunday
homework.
and Wednesday, 5 times she broke down in hysterics.
Wow.
For some
I expect
reason,
more tonight.
It looks more dramatic with the red lipstick.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? I
And the
noticed
multiple
tears.
wipes per eye that she has to
and her
do.
eyes are so brown. Like, it's
Yeah.
weird to have really brown eyes, but somehow she does. And she just wipes the tears away, and you can see them very vividly.
She also has a very beautiful beginning to her crying when, like,
Yeah.
Jane was like, I'll be the pawn. And she goes,
No, don't do that.
no.
I think
You're
Meg's.
not doing that for me.
I think Meg's gonna have a career after Big Brother. I think she's gonna be on Broadway. She's a
Yeah,
musical
she's an
theater major.
actress, right?
Yeah.
Oh, she is?
She is.
I think she's gonna have a career, and it's ironic because she had no impact on the Big Brother game. But I think
Yeah.
she's gonna. Have
But in a way,
career
she's
afterwards.
had like she's kept her brand, if you will, like pretty clean. She's a good. Like some people could.
She's
run
I think you're
themselves
confusing
on-
brand with just being irrelevant to the game. Right? She doesn't do
But he
anything.
means as a person.
As
I
a
don't think she
person.
ruined herself. I think she's still a boss.
right.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, if
Going around
nothing
the
else,
show.
she's extremely likable.
Yeah.
Well, see, I don't like her.
Well, you don't like her.
I don't like her.
But
No.
everyone in the house does.
I know
So
you
that
do.
tells
I
you
know.
something.
That is.
Yeah.
It tells, again, it's back to me.
Yeah.
I don't like her. I never liked her. She needs to go. She
I didn't like her in
bugged
the
me
beginning.
in the interview thing when they first showed her beginnings. She
That-
bugged me on the show. She bugs the crap out of me.
TTYL.
I don't know. I agree.
Talk to you later.
I know. I like that. It's kind of funny. I like it. Oh, I was not here laughing last week, so I'm laughing now.
We need your laugh.
Yes.
I'm gonna do the whole show like this. By the way, why aren't you playing with the pillows like I was the other week? Do you not like them?
No, they're great.
But you just don't like them that much.
You know, I think they're more decorative than a prop, you know? More set than prop.
They're not props for him. They're decorative. So then we have Wednesday, where there's the veto competition.
I love
Yeah.
this.
It's my favorite competition they do.
And I did like this one, so let's talk about that. How did you guys like the veto
I
competition?
loved it. I was trying to think of the most creative place to hide
I think
it.
James.
me
I think
too.
James picked a great spot.
Yeah.
Easily.
I wish she could have moved the couch, lift the rug up more, and
Literally put it dead
in the
center? Yeah.
under the coffee table.
I don't know. If
No,
you
that wouldn't have been as good.
I don't know if you
Because you know what he
time.
did? He came back in and instead of looking for one of the things, he hid it more with other stuff.
That was
Yeah.
smart.
And that was brilliant. I don't think you could have done that as well if it was under the coffee table. You would have
Austin-
felt it.
Austin was doing the same thing in his room that he hid. Didn't work
yeah,
so
yeah,
much
yeah.
for him, but
Almost.
Did he put his in a cushion too?
he put it in
the-
the blanket.
Yeah.
in the
Okay.
inside
The
of
comforter.
of the
I thought
comforter.
DiGiorno.
It ain't delivery. It's DiGiorno.
But that was the first one that got found. I thought that was a great spot.
No. I went to say DiGiorno.
Oh, I didn't even think.
I'm having trouble speaking tonight. I'm actually worried about my brain. Anyway, I thought the DiGiorno. Do this.
Yeah, it balances both hemispheres of the brain.
Oh, I've always needed that. Okay, keep going.
Okay, so I thought the DiGiorno hiding spot was great because in season 8, Danielle Donato hid hers in a big pot of slop.
Yes, she did.
Oh,
and she won.
I remember that she won.
So maybe they saw that season and were like, let's check in the fridge.
I was thinking I would hide it right on the sliding door, right where you run in, just lean it up. They don't even go. They're not even looking there.
That's a smart one, too.
Just right
So I was thinking, what if you make it obvious? Because everyone's looking for these weird, intricate places.
That's so funny.
Just lay it
That's
out.
a great idea.
And I love that nobody knew whose was who.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was amazing because then you really can't.
The suspense.
Why did they all have a bucket in their little cell? They were was it like a cool down wipe or something? They all had buckets.
Yes,
They were all crouching into the corners in the
Yeah.
shade and stuff. I think that was during the weekend that they played that, right? It was like
it's
100
been
degrees
really
in the
hot.
valley.
It was hot.
What if
Yeah.
they had to pee in the bucket? Because
I don't think.
because they didn't have a bathroom.
Well, did they?
Oh.
Okay, explain this to me, guys, because you may know this better than me. Little behind the scenes stuff. When they do those competitions, is it still just the regular cameras following them?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's no.
So there's never a camera guy,
Okay.
and is there ever at all in the show?
Nothing off. No.
Because those
I don't
one-way
think so.
mirrors, though, that's where they put the camera on the track behind, so they can shoot through the one-way mirror.
They must save a bundle.
I wonder how many cameras they were running with all
I
the
know.
time.
They said it once. I can't remember how many. They said it once.
Wait, I'm sorry. We need to address something. Lauren just said they must save a bundle. Can you explain that? Why would they save a bundle? I think that's really expensive to have to create a world behind the scenes behind one-way glass.
Is it just a throwaway at the moment? Okay, I have those too.
Why are you crying?
Not sadness. It's funny.
Do you need to rebalance, maybe?
That's so true.
For those of you that are audio based, if you
yes.
want to rebalance the hemispheres of your brain, simply take 2 fingers and tap either temple at the same time.
Oh, it has to be
Nicholas is just cute. He's not smart.
Wow.
I love it. Okay. So James wins veto. So of course he's gonna take himself off. Of course. Which
For a
is a smart thing to do.
second, I thought he was gonna.
And me too. When
He was like, "You're really good," and I was like, "You don't
do
that."
because we've seen it happen in other past Big Brothers and it don't work out.
Yeah.
Don't. They must save a bundle.
I want to justify that comment. It's because they have the cameras everywhere, and I wasn't thinking about the 2-way mirrors. I was thinking about the cameras everywhere. You know,
Even that, I'm still wondering.
I'm being the
get your
camera.
comment, though.
I'm being the camera.
Yeah, so what are you saying?
So it's cheaper to do that than to have a camera operator and a bunch of people.
No, but they're still back there.
Yeah, but they're probably less.
Oh, I think Big Brother has a big old crew. I think they've cost a bundle.
Actually, I have a fun insider note. One of the AFTERBUZZ here is a security guard on the lot, and he said that 2 nights ago there was fans outside with the bullhorn shouting things into the house, and they had to get rid of it.
They did. Do you remember they did that
I want
last
to do
season?
that.
They arrested, right?
Frankie last season, Ariana Grande's brother.
Who I met the other day.
Really?
Then I'm gonna just put a pause in my
Yeah, we
story.
need to get
Where did you meet them?
I went to the America's Best Dance Crew finale where he's a judge.
Yeah, he's a judge.
He's a judge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
I know.
Cool.
But
credentials, don't you
They
know?
pay him $2.
his eyebrows were glittery, his chest was glittery.
Oh my god.
He was annoying.
He thought last
thinks
season?
he's the greatest thing
They
since
say
sliced
Broadway
bread.
star. He was a dancer in a couple productions.
Well, no, then after Big Brother, he got a role in
Probably. Oh, did he afterwards?
in
I'm like,
the rock musical.
Rock
Rock
Vegas.
Vegas.
Rock Vegas.
Oh, good night. So anyway, I'm like, buenos noches for all you Spanish speakers. So James,
They've listened to the whole show, but now good night. They know.
Many of us are Spanglish. We speak both languages.
Yeah.
I'm part Puerto Rican, so I can do that. And so then we have to see who that's going to put up.
Yes.
And she puts up one of the twins.
Which, okay, so I looked at the spoilers right after that episode aired on whatever night it was, and I was like, okay, she put up Julia. She's finally making a good move. But I was so pissed when I watched the episode because it was like, okay, you have to be a pawn.
Right.
Where if she went to like Johnny Mac and Steve and like said, I want to have a threesome, and say, okay, we're going to be our threesome. We're at the bottom of the totem pole. Let's get them out.
No, easy.
That's what I was
hoping.
And we'll talk about the eviction later.
Yeah.
But they put Julie up. I was excited. Like, okay, she's up. One of the twins is up. Oh my God. But,
you know what? They need a takeover where Julie Chen switches places with Julia.
That'd be great. No one would notice.
It'd just be seamless.
They look just like.
That's what
just alike. Yeah. They would save a bundle.
God. Well, folks, that's the episodes that we did for Sunday and Wednesday, and having Miss Audrey on the show, of course, and Brock here, and he'll be back with us later on tonight. So we're going to end it here for now for this episode, but you will follow us. Please come back tonight at 10 o'clock. p.m. Pacific Standard Time, wherever that is, your time, 11
Hit up Starbucks before it closes.
If you're in China, figure it
6
out.
6 in the morning in France. But we will be back. We're also online too, so we'll be online. You can always use the hashtag ABTV Big Brother. You have all of our. Everybody, tell your Twitter names again.
All right,
guys, you can find me at Jonny Mangs on Twitter and Instagram.
I'm at Logro. LOLOLOGRO.
That's right.
I'm at Nicholas Grava.
And I'm at Brock Ciarlelli.
And I'm at Black Hope LA. So please tune in for our next episode later on tonight. Thank you very much.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.